Greetings, everyone. I wanted to come on here because Basquiat has been a big discussion as of late. Um, the different places, the different museums that are selling his art. The news is coming out showing that all of these huge art galleries are money laundering.
And this is for informational purposes only.
Yes, this information is just for entertainment purposes only. Um, we are just sharing this information because we see that people are interested in this topic and we want people to have a little bit of context to where myself and Can You Dig It come from in regards to Basquiat's work. Um, the funny thing about Basquiat is everybody looks at his artwork the same exact way. They look at it and say, why is this selling for hundreds of millions of dollars? Because it looks like a child drew it. And it does. I agree. When I first started looking at this, that is exactly what I said and thought and felt until more time started going by. And then we started to get more involved in artwork. And not just Basquiat's, we started to look at Da Vinci, Michelangelo, Botticelli, Hieronymus Bosch, um, many other ones. But we started to look at Basquiat for that specific reason because we felt that his art was so ridiculous that we had to look at it. So we did. And in that time, anyone who was following us has seen many paintings that we've decoded of his. And today is basically me going over some paintings that we have shown you before, but maybe I can show it to you today and you'll understand things a little bit more than when I did it before, considering the climate of the entire world right now.
And rest in peace.
Oh, yeah, let me just take a brief moment to say rest in peace, Angie Stone. Angie Stone passed away today on March 1st, 2025. She was on her way to Essence Festival. They asked her to perform there, and she was in a car crash, and it took her life suddenly. This happened in Montgomery, Alabama. So we want to send our condolences to her family, friends, anyone who she's touched, and her fan base. Um, we really do pray that she rest in peace. She was recently coming out doing live streams on her own. It wasn't a structured platform or anything like that. She just was using her time to share with people what the industry was, what her experience was like, and it was refreshing to just see a person sharing their truth. Um, so let's get into it. I have a couple of paintings that I'm going to go through today. I may inadvertently pull up another one just because it's connected to what I'm trying to show you. But first, what I'm going to do is I am going to pull up Jean-Michel Basquiat's Wikipedia page for anyone who is watching this and has no idea who this person is. Jean-Michel Basquiat was an American artist who rose to success in the 1980s as a part of a neo-expressionism movement. He was the first to achieve notoriety in the late 70s as a part of graffiti duo Samo. Most of his graffiti art and even some of his paintings, you'll see Samo, and you'll also see the crown that always represents his artwork. He also worked very closely with Andy Warhol. Um, that relationship was complex. I don't necessarily need to get into the inner workings of that, but Andy Warhol saw the genius that Basquiat was, and he was basically just trying to leech off of this young, up and coming artist. he had a style like no one else's other than a kindergartner. So, but Basquiat could legitimately draw. He was professionally trained. His parents sent him to art schools. His parents, his dad was putting him through schools and different things like that. Um,
And he was very, very, very much into the
come
body.
close, come closer.
He was the body. He was into body.
I'm sorry, that's Santana in the background.
He knew the body very well.
Anatomy.
Anatomy.
Yeah, Santana was just sharing that he was very, very fixated on showing the anatomy. And he pretty much picked that up because he was in a really, really bad car accident. And when he broke so many bones, I mean, he was cast up from what I understand from like head to toe during that recovery. His mom got him a Grey's Anatomy book and he just studied the book. He just studied the anatomy, much like many of the other great artists, such as Da Vinci and Michelangelo. They studied the body as well. So that is who Jean-Michel Basquiat is. His I'm trying to get to where.
So, looking at Basquiat's artwork, we started looking at things and we just started seeing things that made no sense, but they kind of spoke to us. They looked very familiar. And we found that in Basquiat's artwork, they were painted primarily in the 80s, um, from the early 80s all the way up until his death. We saw that a lot of events that had not taken place yet was already in his artwork. So that made us put a closer eye on it because we saw that we are in that last time where, because this system, by law, whatever contract is signed between these entities and powers, it's stated that the system, for doing anything to us, they have to disclose it to us. And this last time around, this is the last time, they chose the artist Basquiat. And in choosing him to be able to disclose the messages, they had him create these obscure drawings that are very, very very, very confusing, very, very multi-layered, and they have complete stories in their artwork and their pictures. And he's predicted things, from my understanding, for what I've seen, all the way up to 2032 is what I've seen that he's predicted everything up to. But that was the reason why. And pretty much every incident that we've seen in our modern era was in the Basquiat artwork. For example, 9/11 was shown in a Basquiat artwork. He did two particular pictures showing 9/11 on pictures that he had painted back in the early 80s. In addition to that, he showed the Ukraine war starting. He also showed the Russia war starting. So he showed so many different things taking place, and he painted these pictures in the early 80s, and these things are coming to pass now. So that's the reason why it's so important that everyone should be looking at Basquiat. Is he's looking at his work. He's got over 300 works that's easily available on the internet. We're going to supply you with two links that shows you a whole bunch of his works that you can look through. And we're asking everyone who's watching, please look at these two videos we're going to send you that are just Basquiat works. They're about 15 minutes long, but they show you 300 paintings, and there's things in the paintings that if you look at, I'm sure that you'll recognize because with myself and Ariel going through the artwork, we see a lot of stuff that we can't catch everything, and not everything is resonating with us because of our lives. However, because we're all separate individuals, different things in the pictures will resonate with you, and we can compare notes and get to the bottom of what the actual image is actually saying. So here's a picture called Bird on Money. This picture, Bird on Money, was painted by Basquiat in 1980, I believe 1982. I can find out the
I'll
exact
tell you in a second.
Ariel's gonna check right now, but this picture was painted in 1982 or 1983. And we're gonna break this down for you to show you what this picture means and what it's
81.
saying. So this picture was painted in 1981. So if you can walk with us and look at follow the cursor, because we're going to encircle the different events and different things, so you can see what we're pointing at, so you can see the exact same things that we're seeing, so we're all speaking the same language. So please walk with us, take a look at what we're pointing out and we're encircling. Please um, clear your mind, clear your prejudices, and look at this with us, because he's showing us everything, and he's even showing us a timetable of when these things are going to take place. So this is not for ego or anything like that. This is to give understanding, to share, and for us to get ahead of this thing to protect our family and loved ones. So I ask for you to please just look and see what we're circling, and if something that please put it in the comments, put it in the chat. You take a look at it, and we'll look at it in real time. Without any further ado, I'm going to let Ariel go ahead and get started with this picture. It's called Bird on Money.
Okay, guys, we're actually going to kind of do a, we're going to be doing this together because we've gone through so much art that we forget pieces of the art because they are so complex. It's a lot going on. I titled this video, How Did Basquiat Know About 9/11? Because Basquiat painted at least two paintings that I have found that were connected to 9/11 that he painted in the 1980s. This painting that I have here, as Santana said, is called Bird on Money. It was painted in 1981. When we first started looking at this painting, we saw the big bird in the middle, of course, the very obvious thing. But the first thing that stood out to us was all the nines and all the ones. And I really hope that you guys can see my cursor where I'm swirling right over top of the nines and the ones, but they're over here in the right hand corner in blue. They're also over here in the left hand corner on the off white side. And it's nines and ones all over the place. So then we went further down in the bottom where the yellow is, and it says para morta.
See, put your cursor on it?
It is, but it's like a faint line. But go down, you'll see in yellow it says para morta, okay? And you see it's two buildings. Right beside the building.
So let's show. Okay, so when you see the word para, you're going to see that there is an A outside of that structure, because that's tower number A. If you look over to your left, you're going to see an identical tower, but it's in blue. Scroll over to the blue tower, please. You'll see here, this tower here is identical to the tower that says Para A, because all of us who watched that 911 take place all remember Tower A and Tower B. And if the word para morta means to die side by side. And if you look at the in-between portion here, you're going to see an airplane wing right there going into a building. Right there, you see in the yellow, that's an airplane wing. In addition to that, you're going to see the second part of the airplane wing on the blue side of tower number B. So you have the tower A and you have the tower B. And again, remember, when you look to the edges of the picture, you're seeing 911 all over the place. He's saying 911 on here. On the right side, 911. Okay, so because we're discussing the whole picture, I want you to also pay attention to this portion here where it says Greenwood. This area that says Greenwood, you take a look at your United States of America map, and you're going to see that it's, the Greenwood section is literally an outline of the state of Oklahoma. In the state of Oklahoma in 1921, most of the black community is aware of the Tulsa, Black Wall Street, the Tulsa Massacre. The district it took place in was the district of Greenwood. So it's showing you that the attack that took place in Tulsa, Oklahoma, in particular Greenwood, and you see the arrows here that you're looking at. That's representing the Osage tribe, the
Osage.
Osage tribe, who had the access to all the oil. What a lot of people don't know about Tulsa, Oklahoma, and their wealth. You hear about how Black Wall Street was so rich and was the richest community in the world. What they don't explain to you about that is the reason why it was the richest community in the world, because they had found the largest oil reservation of anywhere in the world, and the black owners of that particular land were they owned the land and found the oil, so they became instantly massively rich. So that massacre that took place was about killing all the black inhabitants, stealing their land, but most importantly, it was about taking control of those oil fields. And during the attack, um, if you're familiar with that, the Tulsa massacre, you remember that airplanes were used, the government's airplanes. In addition to that, the sheriffs deputized people from the surrounding towns to come in and just to kill all of the residents. But the most of the damage was done by the airplanes that were bombing up that community. I then want to draw your attention to this structure here. This structure here, this area here where you have the yellow and those red lines going through it, that right there is representing of something that has yet to happen. It's going to take place in 2029. That building you're looking at is called the Burj Khalifa. The Burj Khalifa is in Dubai and is the tallest building on the planet. If you look at the Twin Towers in New York City down here, the Twin Towers used to be the tallest buildings on the planet. But once the Twin Towers were knocked down, the Burj Khalifa, what we're looking at here, is now the new tallest building in the world. And it's showing you that in 2029, the Burj Khalifa is going to be hit by a plane, and it's going to cause an explosion similar to the explosion you saw in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Um, so if you want to know how I know about the plane and the dates, we can discuss that in another video, or we can come back to it later if there's something you want to know how I know the dates of these events and where they're going to take place. But this video, this picture is showing you Black Wall Street, um, New York Wall Street, and it's also showing you Dubai's Wall Street. Dubai, the Burj Khalifa, that area is the Wall Street of the Emirates, Dubai. And each of these attacks you're seeing took place, each of them were financial attacks, and each of them used planes as mechanisms to do their massacres, hence the name Bird on Money. This picture was painted in 1981. September 11 took place in 2001, 20 years prior to the September 11th attacks. But it's clearly explaining the September 11 attacks. This is not mere coincidence. And to further show you that this is not mere coincidence, I'm going to show you another picture called Beatbot. I'm going to come back to this picture, but I'm going to show you another picture called Beatbot. Now, before we leave this picture, I want you to see these white things right here. They look like peace signs. Seconds. I need you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You see these white things right here? They look like little peace signs. When you see these in Basquiat's pictures, what he is saying is that's how he represents a large amount of people dying. It means to him men dying. And this right here represents the bird, I'm sorry, the plane that's crashing into the Burj Khalifa in 2029. And just for a little reference, and you can all fact check me on this. Myself and Ariel did a video in 2022. It was on May the 13th of 2022, and we did a video showing that Burj Khalifa was going to be attacked and destroyed in 2029. 4 hours after we posted the video, the president of Dubai, by the name of Sheikh Khalifa, the one who built the building, who financed the building, died 4 hours after this video was posted. And his name is Sheikh Khalifa. And I want you to understand that he is not dead. He is hiding and faking his death until that day. If you want to know how I know that, we can discuss that later on in the video. But my numbers show that he's faking his death and he is not actually dead. But because the plan was has been revealed publicly, he had to hide because there's not too many ways of getting around that. Now, this other picture is called Beat Bop. Beat Bop.
And before I pull up the other painting, I also wanted to go back to Basquiat's year that he passed, and that was 1988. And like I said, I named this video because I was saying, how did Basquiat know about 9/11? And anyone else who follows Santana in my work, we shown the pattern with the number 13 and 62 and the transferring of energy with the number 13. And as you can see here, Basquiat passed on August 12th, 1988, which is exactly 13 years before 9/11. He passed. And he's the one who was representing all of the illustrations to show what was to come in regards to 9/11. I'm going to pull up the other painting right now.
And this picture here is also shows you 9/11 Basquiat drew. This picture is called Beat Bop, and it was painted in the year of 1980. Okay, we're pulling it up right now, Wikipedia. It was pointed in 1983. It's called Beat Bop, and this yet again shows you the 9/11 attacks. So let me break this down a little bit, and we're going to be going back and forth with some different pictures, and we're just going to go through a lot of artwork today. And I'm just praying that the things that we missed, someone out there may have seen what we missed. You're looking at this picture, and this picture looks like an album cover. And when I first saw it, I was initially thought that it was an album cover, but it's not an album cover. But let's kind of get into what we're looking at. First off, you see this 10 right here? You got number 10 right here. Look at this number 10. And then right next to it, you have a minus sign and 2 1s. So if you minus 1 from 10, you get 9, and then you get 1 1. In addition to that, a couple different things happen. This picture is showing the 9/11 attacks, and I got to go through the whole thing. And some of this doesn't relate, but to help relate to what we're discussing, I'm kind of go over some things that don't relate as much. This picture is showing the murder of Aaliyah, and it's showing you, no, this is for entertainment purposes only. So, hey, this is for educational purposes only. So this picture is showing you the murder of Aaliyah. And if you're familiar with timetables, you understand that Aaliyah was murdered a month prior to 9/11. She died in 2001.
Yes, it was only a few days. I can tell you exactly how many days it was.
We'll give you the dates, but it's showing you this picture painted in 1983 is showing you Aaliyah's murder and who was responsible for Aaliyah's murder. But what I want you to please understand is that All the murders, everything, all of them have to do with power and energy.
11 days.
So she was killed 11 days, and this was a murder, and I can show you. And Basquiat shows it in his artwork. But everything and all of these murders are always about power and energy. So as we're going through some of his artworks, you're going to see these lightning symbols, you see, and these power symbols and so forth. When you see these symbols, you're going to notice that they have a minus sign next to them, a minus sign next to them, a minus sign next to them. And the reason why they have the minus sign is because they're showing you that that someone stole power, and the power is going somewhere else. This is about stealing power and energy. And in 2001, Aaliyah was the hottest pop star in the world. This picture here is showing you two characters. It's showing you, of course, Queen Bee, Beyonce. I did another video on that, but this B is Beyonce's signature. If you want to pull it up, um, if you want to pull it up, I can show it to you. And I'm trying to do this very quickly, but it's showing you Beyonce's signature, and you can see. Got it. Perfect.
You can use any of them.
I'm trying to stay consistent with the videos that we have. You see how can you see this? Okay, they can see it. You see how Beyonce does her bees, and she always does this squiggly thing at the bottom of her signature. She always puts that squiggly thing at the bottom of her signatures. The squiggly thing. Take a look at her signatures. She always has a squiggly line on it. Beyonce. So when you look at the signature, we can go back to the picture.
Go back. Oh.
You'll see the B with the squiggly lines, and you also see a little crown there. Right here is where the crown is. You're also going to find Jay-Z's signature is on here. And if you guys can remember that the Blueprint album that Jay-Z did, he did the Blueprint in 2001. And to be exact, Jay-Z's Blueprint album was dropped. If we would all remember that date, remember the Blueprint album dropped. I'll let you see it for yourself. There you go. It was, as you can see, the Blueprint album was released on September 11, 2001, the exact same day.
13 years
13
after
years
Basquiat's death.
After the death of Basquiat. There's a system in place that when they want to steal power, another person can inherit or steal their power 13 years later. But you'll see that September the 11th, the Blueprint Volume 1 was done on September the 11th. Now, when you go back to the painting, you're going to see that when you go back to the painting of Beatbop, you're going to see that Volume 1 is telling you about Jay-Z. Now, how do we know that we're talking about Jay-Z? Well, we're going to take a look at Jay-Z's signature. So when you look at Jay-Z's signature, you're going to notice something about his signature. His signature always has this hook. You see this hook in his signature here? See this hook here? This is Jay-Z's signature with this hook. Pay attention to this hook. Now, when you go back to the picture of Basquiat, you also want to see, I'm sorry, my bad. You go back to the picture, you have this hook down here, Jay-Z's hook right here. And lastly, this picture is showing you the Aaliyah death and how it killed her. And Aaliyah's signature is on this picture. I'm going to show you Aaliyah's signature on this picture. Now, I want you all to ask yourself, how would Basquiat know what Aaliyah's signature would look like in, click on the first one, please. How would Basquiat know what Aaliyah's signature would look like in 1981? Well, if you look at Aaliyah's signature, she has a very distinct signature and some things on here that are originally in just hers. If I can draw your attention to this here, you see, it looks like a smiley face, like two eyes, a nose, and a mouth. When you look at Aaliyah's signature, I want you to take a look at the nose. This is the nose. It looks like a fish, okay? And I also want you to pay attention to these two V's right here. It looks like two arrows, okay? Pay attention to these two arrows. And most importantly, pay attention to this nose right here. Now, when we go back to the picture, you're going to see that here is the nose right here. This is the fish nose that Aaliyah used in her signature. And here is the arrow here and the arrow here, the two arrows. So it's showing the explosion blew her apart. But look at the nose, look at the arrow here, and look at the arrow here. Now we go back to Aaliyah's signature again so you can see it for yourself. See? Here's a nose, and here are the two arrows, okay? And back to the picture. The picture is showing you that what took place was there was an explosion and it blew this beautiful woman apart, this angel apart. And as a result, you see that a star here and a star here. And it's showing you that from the murder of Aaliyah, one star fell. We lost one star. And from this bang explosion, two stars rose. And you have this star here, known as Beyonce, and you have this star here, known as Jay-Z, Volume 1, Version 1, Blueprint video, Blueprint album. And we're seeing that that angel that we used to call Aaliyah is dead. That's why we have the halo here, because they stole her power and became the power couple that you see today. In addition to that, for you think I might be reaching, I want you to take a look at this here, and we can all see that this is a wishbone, okay? We see this is the wishbones, and this looks like a Y. If you look at that, I would like you to pay attention to, maybe pull up the wishbone for 9/11 site. Just Google wishbone at 9/11 site. Now, I understand that we may think that these are just coincidences, but how many wishbones? How many coincidences? I got you. Boom. Okay, so I understand that a lot of things are coincidences and so forth. I get that 100%. But take a look at this and see that the this here, you see, this is November 26, 2008. Wishbone takes shape at Trade Center site. So here you got the wishbones and the wishbones you seeing here, and you got the two lines sitting here at the World Trade Center. So I hope that you're following me with this. You look at the picture and you see at the Trade Center, you see the wishbones in this picture. This picture is talking about 9/11. So I understand that a lot of things may seem coincidental, but so many coincidences. What do you say about once a coincidence? Well, forget it. I don't believe in coincidences. If you can't follow me, I do apologize. I'm trying to make it very, very simple and very as easy as I can to try to.
But you see, it's saying it's New York.
Oh yeah,
New York.
Yeah, not just that. It's not saying New York. It's saying New York.
Right.
It's yolk. So it's saying fried.
Mm-hmm. And Jay-Z has made a whole career out of being the king of net weight.
Peso Nito. When you see Peso Nito, remember Peso Nito means net weight. Now, everyone who's familiar with the character that we call Sean Carter, aka Jay-Z, he was a big dope dealer, and he was the king of weight. And this is what they're showing. They're showing you the king of weight, Piso Nito, volume one, the blueprint. So they are telling you he's telling you in the painting about the perpetrators who were involved, and he even gives us a date. The date, volume one, was done on September the 11th, 2001, the exact same day as those towers went down. Okay. So, does anyone have any questions up to this point, or did you see anything that we haven't seen yet, or something that you may notice? If you have, please put it in the chat. Go ahead, baby.
Yeah, and we'll we'll go through all of the questions and comments at the end because I don't want to make this video too long because I just want to present the art that we found because there is another painting that we need to go over. Now, we've just shown you two paintings that connect Basquiat to 9/11 on top of the fact that that Basquiat died 13 years before 9/11. And we've explained to you guys about the transferring of energy. And you guys have already witnessed Jay-Z literally trying to take the physical embodiment of Basquiat down to his hair, down to wanting to purchase his paintings. He just did like a benefit for Basquiat and Andy Warhol in Paris about a year or so ago. So they have a huge fascination with Basquiat, and it's not for any other reason other than Lucian energy. Now, this next painting that I'm going to show you is the one that really shook my core because I wasn't looking for it, but I can honestly say I was divinely led to this painting. This particular painting, let me share this with you. Hold on one moment, guys. Let me pull. Okay, guys, I'm right back. All right, so this painting here, Santana and myself and a friend of ours was having a conversation about 9/11 for many reasons. I was looking at the date that Osama bin Laden supposedly, allegedly was assassinated back in 2011. And at the time, it was last year when I was looking at the assassination of bin Laden, and it had been 13 years. So it was time for the reveal to come. So I started looking at the artwork and I saw this one. And this is the one that stuck with me because the reason why this painting pulled up was because I put in Neptune's sphere. And for those of you who don't know, Neptune's sphere is the Navy SEAL agency that they sent in to assassinate Osama bin Laden. And if you have a look here on this painting, it has Neptune's sphere here. It also has nothing to be gained here. And we've done another painting showing you guys that Basquiat puts nothing to be gained here with a circle and a little speck inside of it in another painting called Batman Riddle Me This. And we can go over that one as well so I can explain. But this is all talking about Maxine's and gain of function
In
research.
particular, the COVID pandemic. He put the COVID
You
pandemic.
too far. But in particular, what Santana was saying in the background was in particular the COVID vaccine. But I don't want to push on that too much because I don't want to pandemic. But like I said, I'm gonna go over that painting. But remember, nothing to be gained here, and remember exactly what it looks like. And I will cross-reference so you can see it for yourself as well. Okay, so I'm looking at the picture, and then I saw, like I said, I saw Neptune's sphere. I see money orders. I also see down here the Hopi prophecy, the Hopi tribe a symbolism right here as well. He puts a lot of indigenous people in his artwork because they are the foundation of America, clearly. But what you see here is a brown man being shot with a gun right here, a huge, massive gun. And you can clearly see his turban um, coming off of his crown. So I'm looking at it and then I'm just saying, okay, am I seeing things? Am I just, I need to do more research. I need to see, but I'm seeing something that is very disturbing here. I also noticed a pig, like a piggy bank, and you see that they're talking about money orders. So I see this concept going on with this painting. So I started to do a little bit more research in regards to 9/11. And I see ideal all over the place. This means nothing to me, but I definitely see a brown man being killed and a turban flying off of his head right here. Okay. So I started to do a little bit of digging, and this is the part when I was ready to wake Santana up out of his bed in the middle of the night. This is a 60-minute interview, and we all know about 60-minute interviews at this point. Everything is orchestrated, and that's the main reason why I'm showing you guys this and bringing this back up, because everything that you are watching on television, every process, every war, everything that we are dealing with, that they are trying to make it seem like it's a real thing, is completely orchestrated and it is scripted, even in the art. So I just so happened to pull up this interview about the 60-minute when they were talking to one of the people who were on the team, the Neptune Sphere team. So please, please listen. I want to make sure that you guys can hear this. So
fair use. This is for education. This is for learning. This is for learning purposes. We're showing this 60 minutes clip for teaching purposes. Fair use.
Fair use. I hope you guys respect that this is just fair use and it's not even very long. Okay, guys? Okay. So here we go.
3 days later, on April 30th, the president was telling jokes at the annual White House Correspondents' Dinner. CIA Director Leon Panetta's belly laugh was heard all across the room. Reporters in ball gowns and tuxedos had no idea that just a few hours before, President Obama had ordered Panetta to launch the raid. Mr. Obama kept to his schedule, thinking that on this night, it was better to have reporters drinking and laughing than asking questions.
When did you first hear that the president had approved your mission?
The commanding officer of our command walked in and said, "Hey, just got off the phone, the mission's approved."
What did you think?
This is big. This is cool. I'm glad I'm a part of it.
The raid was supposed to be April 30th, but the weather was bad. The next night, Vice Admiral William McRaven saw the men off. He was a SEAL, and he had planned the mission as head of the Joint Special Operations Command. Just before midnight, the Black Hawks started the sprint from the U.S. base in Jalalabad, Afghanistan, to Abbottabad, about 150 miles away. The helicopters were blacked out against a clear, moonless night. The Army pilots, guided by night vision goggles, flew high speed, treetop level, under Pakistani radar.
It was roughly an hour and a half. I remember, we took off, shut the doors, and the radio call I heard was, hey, we're over the border. We're crossing the border in Pakistan. And I remember thinking, wow, this is okay. This is happening. And I swear I glanced around the helicopter and half the guys were sitting there asleep on the ride in. An hour and a half ride. You guys got to catch a few Z's on the way in.
Wait a minute. Your team is flying in to Osama bin Laden's compound, and they're asleep?
Yeah, no, it's your time to just kind of shut your eyes, relax, mentally walk through whatever you need to walk through.
It was about 1 o'clock in the morning, 66 degrees, 65% humidity with calm winds.
Now, let me just
we opened the door and kind of
guys. Now,
out and sitting there
That's
looking
just
down.
here
I'm
when he
thinking,
said,
wow, you know, this is
let me rewind that. Now listen to the temperature and listen to this. Listen to this.
swung my legs out and I'm sitting there looking down. I'm thinking, wow, this is a beautiful spot. Houses with pools in the backyard, well lit, manicured yards. Like, oh, this is definitely not, you know, the mud huts of Afghanistan.
Somehow, there was a blackout in the neighborhood. No one will say whether that was luck or design, but it meant ideal darkness for the SEALs. With
Pause. Ideal darkness for the
No,
SEALs.
keep it there. Go back to the picture.
So let me go back to the picture. Let me show you the picture, please, y'all. Please listen. I didn't write the script for 60 minutes. And how could Basquiat have known if this thing is not programmed? Somebody help me with that.
Ideal.
Ideal is plastered all over this painting.
And it was done 3/6.
Oh yeah, I'm going to rewind it back because I know you guys heard the 3/6.
But show that red outline. This this red outline you're looking at, I want you to please pay attention to this red outline, that this red outline around this picture. You're looking at this red outline around this picture, and hopefully you can see, you take a closer look, and you're going to see that this is the layout to Bin Laden's compound. That you're already on the video. So what you're looking at here is Bin Laden's compound right here. This is a compound, and this is the same shape that's on the picture. Go back to the picture. This compound is the same shape. This red is the shape of Osama bin Laden's compound. In addition to that, the Neptune sphere, the SEALs that killed bin Laden, did all their training in Nevada. And you'll see over here, we even have showing you that the team came from Nevada. And continue on, babe.
Okay, so I'm going to rewind that clip back for you guys, okay? I'm going to rewind this back for you guys because I want you guys to hear the 666 first off. $66 degrees, 65% humidity. Do you think 666 is an accident in this interview? Please, if you guys think that any of this stuff is not pre-planned, you can just go ahead and leave my channel and just say, you know what, they're crazy. They are just making things up. And, you know, this is for entertainment purposes only because I have to continue to say that so they don't take this video down. I'm trying to show you guys something, okay? This is all connected to 9/11. This is the assassination, the alleged assassination of Osama bin Laden, the person who they blamed for 9/11, okay? Basquiat painted this picture in the 80s. I'm going to play it again. Okay, guys. So the carefully rehearsed plan went to crap. The carefully rehearsed plan that was rehearsed in Nevada, in Nevada. And remember, they said that for whatever reason, there was a power outage. It just seemed to be the most ideal circumstances for them to do this attack. And they had to use night vision. Now, look at this. Look at this scope. Look at this scope in green. That is exactly what the night vision, it always gives that green hue.
And they have it in the video.
And they showed it in the video as well. You could see that it was the green, just like the night vision. Okay. What you also might not understand about when I was pointing out the whole money thing, if you're not following everything that took place with 9/11, let me share this aspect in regards to the piggy bank to you so you can have a little bit more understanding of what kind of money was involved during 9/11. Okay. Okay, please listen to this video, okay, guys? Oh, before I show you this video, let me tell you who this person is. This person is Larry Silverstein, okay? 2 months before 9/11, the World Trade Center was privatized and sold to Larry Silverstein. Just 2 months before 9/11. Now, please listen to what he had to say.
I had the pleasure of working pretty much with every prime minister of Israel, from Yitzhak Shamir forward. I said to myself, wouldn't it be fantastic if I could own the Twin Towers? We got very, very lucky. The governor of New York, George Pataki, decided one day that maybe it would be good to privatize the ownership of the World Trade Center. So I got a call from the governor's office, and they said, would you ever consider owning the World Trade Center? It was very, very good for the family, very good for us, and we were very, very fortunate. On the morning of 9/11, I'm getting ready, getting dressed to go to the dermatologist. I have light-colored hair, light skin. The sun is a disaster for me. I can't take the sun. She said, okay, you're going to the dermatologist, you're going this morning, and you're not going downtown. We got very, very lucky. I had an obligation to collect the insurance proceeds from the policies. A new governor was just elected. Elliot Spitzer, an old friend who I knew well. And I said, Elliot, if you don't help me, I'll never collect from the insurance companies. And guess what? He listened, and he said, you know what? You're entitled. I'm going to get you the money. And in 6 months, he got me the $4.5 billion. We got very, very lucky.
Now, I don't know if you call that luck or strategize. For me, everything is pointing to that was very, very, very strategized. And it was a cash grab. Let me pull up the picture again, guys. That's why I was showing you the piggy bank. Okay. Basquiat, he does things in a certain way where he blurs things out. He paints over things because he believes that you can see them better when he paints over top of it. So let me try to see if I can zoom in on this particular portion for you guys. Why isn't this going down? I need to be able to move this. It won't, hold on guys, because I don't know why it's not moving. It's moving that way. Oh, here we go. Got you. I don't know if you guys can make that out from where you are seeing it on your phone or your television, but this it's saying cash grab in this red. I had to spend a lot of time trying to decipher what this is, but you also see money orders, and those of you who don't know, a whole shit ton of gold just disappeared out from the bottom of the trade centers as well. The whole thing was a money grab. You see the purse? You see the purse above with the lightning strike on it? The whole thing was orchestrated, you guys. We were deceived in a way that it is grossly apparent that these people had this thing set up all the way up until the end of 2019 and what you all know of COVID-19. If you are not sure, please go back to my video that I did yesterday that is labeled Epstein Files, and you will see just how far back it goes. But I don't want to touch on that too much on this video because I kind of want to keep this right here. But there was something else I wanted to share with you guys if you didn't think that 9/11 was completely orchestrated. Let me share this video with you. For entertainment purposes only. You guys remember this guy, Jesse Ventura. Okay, he was pretty adamant about 9/11 because things were just not adding up. So let's just see how he was treated during this time. Sorry, guys. I don't know why. Let me start it back over for you. Sometimes the sound goes in and out. I have no idea. Maybe it's because of what I'm showing you guys. But let me go back here. I apologize. Here we are.
Time, no doubt, where the government has not told its people every single thing that's gone on. I don't think anyone
they rarely
is
do.
Surprised. But when it comes to 9/11, are you so sure?
No.
Okay.
No, but I ask questions, and what perturbs me is that you don't get answers. Nobody wants to talk about it. This event that changed our entire history of our country, why aren't we allowed to discuss it? Why aren't we allowed to ask questions? The moment you do, you get a reaction like you gave me. How dare you? How dare you question your government?
So what are your questions?
My questions are simple. I worked in demolition. I'm a former frogman, underwater demolition team. I know how to blow things up. How could the buildings fall at the rate of gravity? Basic physics tells you that can't happen. Yeah. And how did the cement get so pulverized? Just simply from falling, it was blown into dust. What energy was required to pulverize all that cement
so
into
what
dust?
Conclusion do you draw?
I don't know. But I certainly question, and yet I'm attacked when I question. You notice how if you bring up 9/11 and have any questions about it, immediately everyone attacks you over it, tells you you're crazy, calls you Rosie O'Donnell, insult you. Why? Ask questions.
Okay, now what he also goes into is the fact that there is a video of the BBC reporting on, oh, matter of fact, I think he says it here.
Over time, no doubt, where the government has not told its people every single thing that's gone on. I don't think
They rarely do.
surprised.
Rised. Just simply from falling, it was blown into dust. What energy was required to pulverize all that cement
So
into
what
dust?
conclusion do you draw?
I don't know.
I'm sorry. That's not it. Move things around because every time I was trying to just have these things set up on my YouTube page alone, it would just continuously, they would just kick it off. I had to save it to my Google Drive. So let me play this other interview of Jesse Ventura as well. But I'm trying to figure out why it's not here because I sent it.
And understand, we're not saying we're smart, and we're not saying that we're the only ones that know that the September 11th attack was homegrown. We're just saying that that it's been shown in the artwork, and it was shown 20 years prior to the event. Also, we're going to give you two links. They're only like one's 10 minutes, the other's like 15 minutes, and it goes over about 300 Basquiat artworks. No explanation, just shows them. Take a look. I promise you that things in there can be very familiar to you.
Okay, guys, fair use. So I'm going to show you now the video that Jesse was talking to Piers Morgan in an interview, and he was saying that I have questions about the BBC reporter who was reporting about Building 7 collapsing and Building 7 was still standing. So like Santana said, forgive us for the people who actually do know about what's going on. This is for the people who don't. And maybe you can share this with the people who do not believe what's going on. And maybe it can help you have better conversations with them, because I understand how hard it is to talk to people who don't want to believe these things. And it's hard. It's hard to swallow. It's hard to digest that we were lied to in this manner. But here we are. So let me play this clip for you. This is the BBC reporter that was in New York during 9/11. Please pay attention.
On the latest building collapse in New York, you might have heard a few months ago talking about the Salomon Brothers building collapsing. And indeed it has. It seems that this was not a result of a new attack. It was because the building had been weakened during this morning's attacks. We'll probably find out more now about that from our correspondent, Jane Stanley. Jane, what more can you tell us about the Salomon Brothers building's collapse?
Well, only really what you already know. Details are very, very sketchy. As you can see behind me, the Trade Center appears to be still burning. We see huge clouds of smoke and ash, and we look behind that, there's an empty piece of what was a very familiar New York skyline, a symbol of the financial prosperity of this city, but completely disappeared now, and New York is still unable to take on board what has happened to them today.
So you guys just saw it for yourself. Building 7 was literally standing up right behind her, and she was reporting about it had gone down already. We will never be able to recover from the lies that we've been told. We won't be able to, but we can move forward and be able to use our brains and our common sense moving forward. And that's really the reason why Santana and myself share this information with you guys. Because like Santana said, it's not to make us seem like we're smart or anything like that. Trust me, I really wish that I actually was smart, because if I was smart, I would have never even had to have looked at any of these things, because what made me look at all of these things was because something happened to my son after I took him to a doctor's office. I can't say it on here because it'll take this video down, and I want people to see what's going on. But after I found out what happened, I found out a lot of truth and a lot of lies that I have believed in my life. Okay. Let me share. There was something else I wanted to share with you guys in regards to this, but there's another painting. There's some other paintings that we want to go over, but please, someone tell me. Please rationalize this for me.
No, the entire videos with all the details are on our channels for everything we're showing you.
Anybody who wants to see more detailed breakdowns of these pieces of art, we have them on our channel. Each of them are more than an hour long because it takes time to show you guys what's all in these paintings. But I wanted to briefly just show you guys the connection that Jean-Michel Basquiat has with 9/11 and all that he was trying to show us before it actually happened. And many people have many things to say. They can say he was a sellout, he was a part of the club. You can say whatever you want to say, regardless of what club he was in. He was putting the information out there. It was there. Someone had to find it. And we're encouraging other people to look at the art to see what you can find, because it will help all of us. So we don't have all of the answers. We are still studying. We're still finding things in paintings that we've already reviewed. We're still finding stuff. So, I mean, I could not sleep the night I found the ideal painting. I could not sleep. I stayed up all night once I saw this. And once I saw the 60-minute interview. And when I heard them say that it was a blackout and it gave them ideal conditions to see out the assassination of Osama bin Laden. And they had to use night vision. And the TAC team, the Navy SEAL team that came and executed the assassination was Neptune's spear. Let me show you guys that, just so you guys can see that I'm not just making these things up. I'm pulling it up right now. Navy SEAL team.
And the reason why we're trying to get everyone to look at the artwork is because there's certain things in all of our lives where we've had trauma, where we're triggered. And most of the things that we found, we saw them because something in the picture reminded us of a personal trauma. So that's why it's so important for other people to look at it as well, because their triggers and traumas, looking at the artwork, they'll see it and they'll be able to recognize what's taking place from their personal trauma, and they can let us know what took place for the things that we have yet to be able to understand.
So as you see here, guys, U.S. Navy SEAL Team 6 and Team 6. So you had Navy SEAL Team 6 arrive at Osama bin Laden's residence at 6 o'clock in the morning. No, I'm sorry. It was 66 degrees and 65% humidity. Team 6. You got all of these sixes spread all across this, because literally, and Santana's been trying to show you guys this in the Exorcist videos that he's been doing a lot lately. It's showing that we let the devil in. It's showing you we let the devil in.
And the devil is in control.
The devil is in control. And when I say devil, I am not talking about a red figure with a tail. It's the energy. These people who are harnessing the energy within the vessels here on Earth.
It's Elon Musk.
It's Elon Musk
is running the country.
Elon Musk is running the country.
Trump was elected.
Doge is running the entire country. You have AI, you have Terminator going on right now. They are running everything. Everything. They're just plugging codes in and letting the computer tell them what to do. And guess what? It's not even a secret. They're openly telling you. And people are actually getting excited about this. They're actually getting excited about this. But like I said, Team 6 Red Squadron was the unit that carried out the raid Osama bin Laden. Okay? And that's what I pulled up when I put in Operation Neptune Spear. And here you go. Operation Neptune Spear, National September 11th Memorial and Museum. And it goes into the Red Squadron. And that's why you saw all the red all over that painting. Let me pull up that painting again so you can see it for yourself. And please look at this stuff yourself. Pull it up on your own time so you can see what is going on. Okay, look at all of this red. It was Red Squad that came in there. Neptune Spear, Navy SEALs did this. Everything is in this painting from the 1980s. And where they did their rehearsed routine was in Nevada, right here. Right here. Everything is laid out here. In fact, I dare say that I haven't seen him write out exactly what was going to happen in any other picture more than this one. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. But I'm gonna go through a couple of you guys' comments. I'm gonna try to go to the top. Thank you guys for sitting here with us while we try to go through these paintings with you, because this is a lot of information. I didn't want to try to make this video very long because I want it to be shareable. And I know that we're in a time period when people have very short attention spans. If you do not have a 2-minute TikTok video, people are probably not going to watch it. But maybe if you can give them a little preference for anybody who is struggling with understanding what's been going on around them, maybe this can help. I hope so, because that's the only reason why I'm doing it. This is definitely not for vanity, because I know this information. You know, I could just not share it and just keep it to myself. But I feel like we've had enough gatekeeping, and we need to be communicating together and seeing what else you can find. Shout out to the whole chat. Shout out to Enemies Public. Shout out to DJ ZPE. Shout out to Callie. Shout out to Big Dog Philly OG. A plus symbol with a circle within represented by the symbol is primarily used in mathematics to denote the direct sum operation, and its origin traces back to the Latin word et, meaning and. Okay, I didn't know that. Thank you. See, these are the type of things that are helpful for us to know, because I didn't know that. Let's see here, which is the root of the standard plus sign. Okay. Oh, I see Santana was already talking to you. Curiosity is the key to intelligence, you see. Yes, absolutely. Curiosity is what's always going to take you some places that you don't want to be to. Jewish Colonization Association was an organization created on September 11, 1891. See, I didn't know that either. Very great plug in there. Yeah, so I appreciate everybody being here with us. I believe Basquiat art has motion lines. Man, I really, you know what I want to do? I want to talk to you guys who have insight on this would you guys like to come up here and share anything? Because you guys seem like you have a lot to add, and it may even help me with other things that I'm looking at, because I don't know all of these different definitions of things. I'm an artist myself. Golden Spark, shout out to you. I'm here to tell you that an artist is when I've studied other artists, a lot of us have the gift of channeling and predicting things to come through art. Correct, absolutely. Art is one of those vices that you can use to kind of guide you into probabilities that will happen. Absolutely. And it is completely out of our control, because trust me, it was completely out of our control. Like I said, we were having a conversation because I lost my father in May of 2011 as well. So that kind of consumed me. And I remembered my father was still living when Osama bin Laden died. In fact, my father died 13 days after Osama bin Laden supposedly was assassinated. And we just started to look at the dates again, because, like I said, we were having a conversation with a friend about 9/11 and everything that, was going on. And when I looked at the date, I said, wow, that happened the same month. That happened only 13 days before my dad passed. So it made me look, and like a wave came over me. And I said, wait a minute, I'm going to find the artwork that's going to show this. I knew it, and I knew Basquiat had it. And all I did was just looked up Basquiat and Neptune's sphere. And this is what popped up. And, a lot of things didn't make sense to me, but a lot of things started making a lot of sense to me too. But before I went all the way down the crazy train, like I said, I did some research on Neptune Sphere 6. I wanted to see who was all involved. I wanted to see, when all of this got initiated. And then that's when I found that 60-minute interview. And when he said ideal, I just froze and I just lost it. So it was definitely divinely inspired. I was led through this. It almost kind of similar to how people will explain how Ouija boards are. I've never used a Ouija board before, and I'm probably never going to, but it is reminiscent of that from what I hear of people. The Sun Cross presents in all cultures of the Neolithic age. Correct. Does the Sun Cross require equal arms? Yeah, Doge, dog. And in fact, it's funny that you say that, DJ, because I did a video. Go in my videos, you'll see one that says Kennedy. And I'm showing you guys, that all of these movies, the movies have even built up to it. So it's not just the artwork, it's the movies, it's your biblical text, it's everything. Everything is going according to this script. Take your time, look at that video, because I'm showing you a movie called A Boy and His Dog, because this movie takes place in 2024, and you should see what the world looks like in 2024 too. And I put in parentheses the E on Doge, on Doge, to show that A Boy and His Dog. Because what was significant about that movie was that the dog was an artificial intelligence. And the dog was literally telling the human what to do, because the human that had the dog was a complete idiot. And he relied on this dog to keep him alive. And the dog was AI. So I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. Please give it a look when you have a chance. Let me see. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, guys, if you guys want us to come back, I will come back so we can discuss, and you guys can come on the panel if you want to do it, if you want to have an open panel, because I would love to get you guys insight, but I do want to keep this video separate. So give me some ones if you want me to come right back, and we can go over things and discuss things, because I can pull it right back up and we can get it going right back, because I really want to hear what you guys have to say. So if you guys put some ones in the chat, I'll shut this one down and come right back in about 5-10 minutes and bring you guys up, share the link, bring you guys up so you guys can share your wisdom, because you guys are on fire right now. And you don't have to show your face. You don't have to come up and do any of that stuff. Just share your wisdom, because we need it. We need it right now, not just for myself, but all of us need it. All of us need to just be trying to learn at this point. So that's what I'll do. I'm going to shut this one down just because I want the artwork to just be displayed. I don't want this to be super long. And in fact, I'm going to come back and I'm going to play that Kennedy video. So for any of you who have not watched it, you can watch it with me, and then we can ask some questions, and then we can get into the whole Doge thing, and we can get into the Venetians, because I've been doing some digging too, and I got a feeling that you guys have some information about that. With that said, we will be back